Good evening, everybody. This is Alderman Lee, and you're at 11th Ward Community Zoning Change meeting for the property located at 3354 South Wallace. It is an empty lot right now. We have with us Mr. He, who's the owner of the property, and his attorney, Mr. Lauer. I have Carlos Diaz from my staff. And since there's only two other people on the call, if you wouldn't mind unmuting yourself and introducing yourself, that would be great.
Hello, my name is Amru Saeed, and I'm with Lucid Engineering, and we're the design firm that gonna have the architectural plans for Mr. Hong.
Oh, great. Thank you for joining us. And how about you, Chris?
I'm Chris Dragon. I just live on 33rd and Parnell and got the notice. So I just was curious what was going up. That's all.
Well, great. Well, welcome to the call and thank you for joining us.
Thanks.
Maybe we'll get a few more people. I'm a little surprised we don't have more participating right now, but it is a really lovely day out today. So maybe people are really enjoying the weather. So I'm gonna share my screen because I've got some drawings up here. I'm gonna let Mr. Lauer kick off the presentation. That's how, Chris, you haven't been on one of these before. Generally what happens at these meetings is that we have a presentation from the party that's asking for the zoning change. The zoning change that's been requested is what's currently an RS3 for a single family dwelling. The owner is seeking an RT4 to enable him to build a multi-unit building. So Mr. Lauer, with that, I'll hand it over to you and you can tell me which slide you want me to start on.
Thank you, Alderman Lee. We could start there on the site plan. My name is Dan Lauer, spelled L-A-U-E-R. My office is up on Division Street in Wicker Park. And with us tonight is Mr. Hong Jun Chen and his wife, Jia He, is home with the child. They currently live nearby 2700 block of South Low. The purpose of the meeting tonight is regarding 3354 South Wallace. And that site is a little bigger than normal. It's instead of 25 by 125, it's 27.5 by 127.5. So it's a little larger than a standard city lot. The total number of square feet then based on that dimension would be 3506. 3506 under the proposed zoning district of RT4 would allow 3 units, but the proposal here tonight is only for a modest 2 units. And we'll go into the detail of those 2 units in a minute. The long block between 33rd and 35th of Wallace is a very mixed block. It's obviously an arterial street. There's a lot of multi-family, and then there's some 1960s raised ranches. Look like about 1960s vintage raised ranches, but then the older multi-families, the stone and brick ones have been, they remained and they've been rehabbed and there they are. This currently is a vacant lot. It is between 2 raised ranches, but just to one block or one additional door to the south is 4 units. That's 3360 South Wallace. Looks like 2 at the next building going south, 3364, although it could be a single family.
I can actually take you there.
Okay.
Look at the television
Oh,
screen.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one there, that blonde brick one, it's hard to tell if that's a single or a 2. But next to it is a 4. You can count the mailboxes at 3360, the red brick to the right there.
Yeah.
And then that is 3366, that's a 4. And then if you spin around across the street, there's an 8 flat right at 334749.
Let me go back here. That's this one.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks like about 8 to me based on a little research. So the point being that this is a very, very mixed block. If you went to the north, Alderman, on the same side of the street, the west side of Wallace,
Mhm.
you would see a series of, so there's our vacant block right behind that red SUV. And then if you go north towards 33rd, you'll see that row of, until you get Google, somebody called and said, I don't want my property on Google.
Mhm.
So if you look at those buildings, I think that would be a good measuring stick for height and massing. And of course, our architect is with us and he could better speak to that, but we have a building proposed that's only 25 feet, 3 inches. RT4 would allow 38 feet. So we're 13 feet roughly below what's allowed. RT4 would also allow 3 units. You need 1,000 square feet of lot area per dwelling unit under RT4, and we have, as I said, 3506 would allow 3 large dwelling units. The proposal here tonight is only for two dwelling units. Chen and he family, Hong and his wife, and their child would live in the second floor and third floor. Below, there's a garden apartment that is 3 foot 8 inches above grade. The garden apartment has 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, and the kitchen in front facing Wallace. The owner's unit has a first floor, which is what you see mainly above grade there. And the living room and dining are in front. The kitchen's in the middle. The family room's in the rear. And then on the second upper top floor are 4 bedrooms with 2 baths. The size, again, is by point to, sorry to be redundant, but the size will look very much, it seems to me, like those buildings that are a little further north on the same side of the street. Also 2 flats and height, below 30 feet. So this is intended to be the permanent home for Hong Jun Chen and his wife and their child. They're moving over, as I mentioned, from the 2700 block of Low, and they're looking for your favorable support for a modest zoning change from RS3, which only allows a single family, to RT4 for these 2 units. And that's all I have.
Okay, well, at this point, we usually take questions. Chris, do you have any questions?
Nope, no questions.
Okay, I will point out that there is a 2-car garage that's planned. The only change is that he is now not planning to do a rooftop deck. So none of his neighbors can come over and chill on his roof. But there will be a yard back here. It's nice. He's got a very long lot here, but the 2-car garage, so parking is covered for the building in that way. And the fact that it's currently an empty lot, I think makes it a lot nicer for the neighbors. There doesn't have to be any demolition, really. They'll dig a foundation and pour some concrete. And before,
Point.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's a provision in the zoning code that allows 2 flats to happen if the same block has more than 60%, and we just missed that mark by 5%. That's why we're also needing the change in district.
Got it. Thank you for clarifying that.
It's a great point. Yeah, it's very, very close. It's such a mixed block. It's very close to being capable of a 2 flat as a matter of right.
Mm-hmm.
With an administrative adjustment, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is gonna be like the easiest meeting. I'm gonna knock on wood since nobody else walked in yet. This is, this zoning change is gonna be a type 1, just for the record here. So the plans that are submitted at the time of the zoning change, there are the plans that he's going to have to be held to. So just Chris, for your education here, they can't turn around and just because they could, the zoning by right that we're changing to would allow them to build 3, an additional floor. That's not what the plans that are submitted are going to say. So if they wanted to make any changes from there, they would have to resubmit. They would have to resubmit their plans and go through this again.
Yes, thank you, Alderman, for pointing that out. It is a type 1, so what you see is what you get, with the exception of, as the Alderman correctly pointed out, Mr. Chen has determined not to do a garage rooftop deck. That'll be the only change that comes in on the plans as they're filed with zoning.
Okay, well, if there aren't any other questions, we can go ahead and wrap things up. I'm inclined to provide the support letter for the zoning change. I like the improvement that's gonna be made here. Appreciate that you're not maxing out on what you're able to with an RT4 on a lot this size. I think it'll be a nice addition to the block. I should also mention that the owner has graciously also agreed, because the street, that you're getting a new alley in the back. There's a new green alley going in.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, there's a green alley that's going in between Low and Wallace. They just started construction today, but that means that the residents that have their backyards and garages along that alley won't have access to their alley for the duration of the construction period. So he's allowing some of his neighbors to park in that on his property, so that they don't have to go find additional street parking. And that's part of our placard program here too. So, we want to make sure that people that are parking over there come over here and get one of those placards as well.
Okay.
All right. And that's very much appreciated, because that's a lot of homes. We have 2 additional lots where people can park, but this is a great service to your neighbor. So hopefully everybody will appreciate it. All right, well, if nobody has any other questions, we'll go ahead and end here. Chris,
Okay.
thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye.
The green alley is, it's concrete on